Hello everyone, this is Jamie. Welcome to my very first video talking about trigeminal neuralgia and my chronic pain. I've wanted to do this video for a really long time actually, but I guess, I never really got around to it because that either just wasn't time or I wasn't feeling, confident sitting down in front of a camera and talking to people about this. But now I just, felt that it's time for me to do it, partly because I'm still trying to recover from this sickness, and also because I've seen many wonderful, YouTube videos and channels that talk about the various chronic pain and, chronic diseases, but not really any videos that focus a lot on trigeminal neuralgia. So I thought that maybe I could just share a bit of my experiences and hopefully that will, just kind of help to shed some light on what this is all about. And especially if you have trigeminal neuralgia yourself, or if you have a loved one or someone you care about who is going through this and you don't really understand and you don't really know, how to help them. Hopefully this can give you a little bit more insight and information about how you can go about helping the person you care about. I just want to make a couple of quick disclaimers. Obviously, I am not a medical professional by any means, and everything that I'm about to say is really kind of entirely from my own experience, also from, the advice that I've gotten from doctors that I've met personally, and also just, general research I've done through the internet. So do take what I say with a grain of salt, because not everything may work for you, not all the advice might help you. Most important thing is, consult your doctor, consult your neurologist, and make sure you're getting what you need for yourself. So, trigeminal neuralgia, what is this? In a nutshell, it's basically a neurological condition that affects the trigeminal nerve. And where the trigeminal nerve is located, it's basically in your face. So people who have trigeminal neuralgia typically have the pain on one side of their face, either the right side or the left side. And in my case, I have it on my left side. So the trigeminal nerve kind of branches out into 3 branches, kind of like across your face. Some people have it just hurting in 1 branch, some have it in 2, some have it in 3. It depends. For me, I kind of had pain in like the 2nd branch, which is kind of like near from where my nose is, the upper parts of my teeth, and all the way towards my ear. And then later on, I kind of developed pain as well. In the lower branch, the doctor said that either it moved or the pain, just kind of expanded to the lower branch as well. So I had pain kind of running down, so like the bottom parts of my jaw, back of my jaw, and the bottom of my ear as well. Due to this disease, basically the nerves on your face are very sensitive, and kind of pain is multiplied tenfold even upon the slightest trigger. So people who have TN would know for sure that we have what we call trigger points, and those really vary from person to person. Very common trigger points include touching your face, wiping your face, washing, putting on makeup, and the degree of touch really, again, varies for each person. Some people feel it at the slightest feather-light touch, which happened to me at one point when I was really, really sick. Some people only feel the pain when they apply a certain amount of pressure. Other trigger points that are very common include chewing, biting, basically when you're eating food, drinking water, drinking liquids, swallowing, brushing your teeth. That's also extremely common. Some people are affected when they have really loud noises around them. Some people get affected by the wind. Some people get affected by cold weather with like extreme colds on their faces, etc. So how does TN feel like in reality? And again, the descriptions vary, but there are many common ones which include kind of an electrical, shocking, kind of buzzing feeling. for me, I've personally experienced, like, when I'm having a TN attack, my face, it just really feels like the insides of my face. Like, there are a couple of nerves in my face that are kind of like short circuiting, and like there's like electrical tingly feelings are going on in here, which are extremely uncomfortable. Sometimes they're a bit more minor, sometimes they're a bit more intense. Other feelings that I experienced include kind of more like a burning kind of pain, which is what I experience more frequently than the electrical kind of pain. So the burning kind of pain just really feels like underneath your skin, something caught on fire and it's just like slowly burning up, and it just flares up in pain. So initially it's really hot, it's burning, it hurts a lot, and then gradually it kind of numbs, and then it turns into more like a bruised feeling. So it also feels like someone just punched me in the face really, really hard, and it just feels like your entire face is bruised and swollen. So that is what it kind of feels like for me more often. A bit of like stabbing sometimes, like maybe like a knife or a penknife has like gone into my face and been removed, and that's kind of the feeling I get. And also like the insides of my jaw, my gums, my teeth would all be hurting. So that's also why a lot of people who initially start getting symptoms of trigeminal neuralgia, they would often confuse it with kind of a dental problem or a dental issue. They would maybe go to the dentist first, which is what I did and what a lot of other people did. You know, you would get your teeth checked, you might do a root canal, you might end up pulling teeth out, but then realizing that actually the pain doesn't really go away because it's actually controlled by the trigeminal nerve in your face rather than, you know, kind of like it being a tooth problem. TN can be dealt with using medication as kind of like the first line of treatment. If medication kind of doesn't work for you anymore because you've been on it for too long, or if, you know, you just don't want to keep, you know, taking medication for the long term, then you might consider kind of more invasive treatment options. There are many different types out there. There's Gamma Knife, there's MVD. I'm not going to go into detail about all of those because that's too much to talk about, and you can just find a lot of that information online. But I am going to talk about what I chose to do. So after about 2 years of being on medication, and then suddenly, you know, having my pain get worse, my doctor, my neurologist, he advised me to get my MVD done. So MVD is the most invasive form of surgery, the most invasive treatment option available for trigeminal neuralgia. And basically it stands for microvascular decompression, where they kind of do an incision in your skull, and basically they kind of have to separate blood vessels from the trigeminal nerve to ensure that there is no pressure against the trigeminal nerve. They would either put a piece of Teflon to separate the blood vessels and the nerve. Sometimes, in the case of a tumor, obviously you would have to have the tumor removed, so there is no longer any damage or pressure on the trigeminal nerve, and hopefully that will not cause irritation and pain and kind of like the misfiring, you know, basically the wrong pain signals that are happening to you. For me, upon my doctor's advice and also after some, you know, personal consideration and discussion with my family, I made the decision to go through with the surgery, mainly because, you know, I am still considered a young, healthy adult and would, you know, recover at a much faster and better rate compared to much older patients. So, you know, that just kind of made me feel more confident about going through the surgery. And also, I guess the other thing is, you know, I wanted to be pain-free as early and as fast as I could be, because I just didn't see how I was going to live the rest of my life in such pain every day, because it was just happening every single day, multiple times a day, and it just, you know, like physically you can build up tolerance, but, you know, mentally it would just wear you down over time, you know, no matter how strong you are. And I just, you know, wanted to I wouldn't say like take the big risk or big gamble, because, doctors are really good nowadays, modern medicine is so advanced, and I didn't especially feel worried that I was cutting my head open, even though I was a little bit scared. But, I just wanted to do the step that would give me kind of like my normal life back. So for MVD, the chances of success are usually pretty high. My doctor told me that, 90% or 95% of the people who come out of the surgery are immediately pain-free. Unfortunately, I wasn't that lucky, 90 or 95% of the people. So when the surgery finished, I was still left with pain. Luckily for me, the surgery did help to an extent. I would say at least I never experienced the pain that was like 7 or 8 over 10 anymore. And my pain now generally is kind of like 2 to 3 over 10, which is, still tolerable, and I can still get on with my life. But I'm not pain-free, so I've still been on medication since I had the surgery. But there are a lot of people who, just come off the surgery and the next day they're like, oh my God, like my pain is completely gone. So, I would still advocate this surgery. I would still say, if you are looking for a solution, I would say if you're young and you're healthy and if you can afford it, definitely try and get the surgery done, because, it would help you a lot, for sure. And nobody wants to, be on medication for like their entire lives, even though a lot of medication is proven to be safe, to be taken long term, again, you do not kind of want to have that burden on your liver and, just other parts of your body that might eventually get affected due to the consumption of medication for a long time.